Sophos has a strong track record of protecting more than 400,000 organizations of all sizes in all sorts of industries across more than 150 countries. Its products work together through a synchronized security system to share threat intelligence and respond to evolving threats, which is becoming really crucial now that ransomware as a service has made phishing and other threats happen on an industrial scale. So it's now my great pleasure to introduce our experts on the subject. Gentlemen, thank you both for being with us this morning, and I'm now going to hand over to you, Andrew.
There are some things that defenders can do today that are probably built into the products that you're using. The first thing is, how do we address these gaps in coverage? We're definitely seeing more of a shift to making sure that systems which are trying to access business applications, typically remotely through VPN or ZTNA, are being checked for the health state or perhaps even the existence of that threat protection capability or XDR capability on the endpoint. That's a really good way of protecting a lot of remote systems today. However, we think it's really important to also consider whether you can use that type of control for regular east-west traffic. If you can put some controls and some limits around different segments of your network, that plays a really good role in stopping not only a potential attack, but also some of those early stages of lateral movement. For scanning exclusions, two key points here. One is talk with those vendors where you've had vendor-required exclusions and really understand what their concerns are. Is it performance? Is it files being locked? What exactly is their concern? And make sure that when you're creating those exclusions, that you're doing them in the most efficient way possible. And I'll split efficient there into kind of two different areas. The first is efficient, that it touches the minimum surface possible. Just getting in there and excluding the things that you need for that application on the individual systems which require it. But also that you're using the exclusion types. There's typically many different types of exclusions: files, folders, processes, exploits, websites, lots of different types of exclusions which offer different types of mitigation. Making sure that you've got those configured correctly will not only make sure that those applications work well and continue to be supported by their vendors, but it also means you have as narrow a threat surface as possible. The other part of exclusions is to regularly review them and make sure that you're not still excluding things for old previous versions of applications. Every exclusion is a possible gap for an attacker to take advantage of. So often if you're excluding applications, thinking about other mitigations that you can apply to those systems as a way to proactively prevent that possible threat actor taking hold is worth thinking through as well. And then for the evasion of EDR piece, you want to first make sure that tamper protection, make sure that something like that is enabled across your systems. Make sure that an attacker is not able to make changes to any of the configuration locally. It's important whenever you're doing that kind of thing in a normal day-to-day process. We've all had to disable tamper protection temporarily for an end user. Make sure that the technical teams and the end users fully understand what that process should look like and how the most efficient way that you can do that is to reduce that risk of potentially opening up configuration changes.
We will give you advice. What is the next steps? How can we assist you with those type of threats? So we actually have a team that sits around the globe. They're security experts in this space. They include me in the call and we advise as we go along, because this other customers, particularly, for example, they said, no, they're okay because they can restore from backups. When they restored their backups were also encrypted.
It comes down to the bottom line and money spent. But you also have to understand, you have to ask the question is, what can the impact be if we get hit? How much money are we willing to pay?
The good guys are trying very hard to keep up with the bad guys. I'm actually quite stunned at how prevalent this is. So, gentlemen, thank you both for your expertise today. Thank you, Sophos, for sponsoring this event. Thank you, everybody, for logging in and for listening. And it just remains for me to say goodbye and to say, I hope that you and your businesses stay safe.